Kia ora. It is Monday the 9th of June. Monday the 9th of June. I'm actually kind of sleepy right now. I'm actually a little bit sleepy if I'm being completely honest. I just finished a miri miri up at the marae. A miri miri is basically a energetic massage for anyone on here that may not speak Māori or kind of understand Māori practices. It's just a energetic massage, you know, where they kind of massage your body, get the energy flowing around in there, and then they kind of try to disperse it or get rid of it, get it out of the body, so to speak. But yeah, I just had one of those, so I'm feeling a little bit drained because obviously I've had a couple of layers of energy stripped from me, or otherwise tension, you know. It was just stagnant energy that I kind of needed to have dispersed anyway. And since doing that, I've kind of had a clearer head on my shoulders. Like, I mean, I just finished that probably about an hour ago, like not too long ago now, hour and a half ago. Came home, had a big kai, and now I'm in my room. I've had a shower, I've did all that. Now I'm in my room just talking to a phone with a ring light. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, right now it's time for me to learn to just trust the universe and hand my life over to her. I think for the most part, I've actually did the work that I've been needing to do. You know, I've did a lot of the inner work. I've learned to really tap into my spiritual gifts, and I've learned to tap into my spiritual gifts, otherwise my spiritual toolkit, and use the tools that I've got up in there to kind of help craft or like strengthen my mentality in a way, you know, because as we know, the mentality will always reflect into the reality. The mentality will always, so how your life looks in your head is how it will look in the real world, in the physical realm, right? But yeah, now it's time for me to learn to just hand this chapter of my life over to the universe and let her meet me halfway, because obviously I'm at the halfway point, but now I gotta wait for her to meet me at the 50-50 mark, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've come to a point in my journey where I'm learning what it is to surrender, what it means to kind of surrender. Every time I get to this point in my journey, in my personal journey, I get to this point, and obviously the mental plane, the mind is just running around. She's chaotic, you know. She's like, she's got 101 things to complete all of a sudden for some reason. It always happens. And every time I've come to this point, I usually like, oh god, I got so much things, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to complete this, I need to get this out of the way, and I'm trying to like, and like the physical is trying to rest, you know, the physical is trying to rest, and she's like, why we got to do all this, you know, but the mental is just like running around. I'm so tired. But yeah, but right now I'm at a point where I'm realizing it's not about doing the absolute most. You know, when you get to this stage and I stop doing the absolute most and just learn to hand it over to, I feel like it's kind of like a book, like I'm holding a book, right? And it's kind of like a book that me and the universe, this is how I'm seeing it right now in my mind's eye. It's kind of like a book that me and the universe had an agreement, right? I'll write 50 pages, you write 50 pages, right? I write 50 pages, universe writes 50 pages, right? And I've written my 50 pages. Right? But it feels like now it's the universe is still trying to finish her 50 pages off. You know, but she can't finish those, or she can't even get started writing her 50 pages because I've still got the book over here. I'm still holding the book, you know, and I've written my 50 pages. You know, I've written my 50 pages and I've closed that book, and now the universe is like, all right, give me the book. And I'm like, no, you're not getting my book. I don't want you to see my book. And now I'm running away from the universe with my book, you know, because my mentor's like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you know. She's the mentor. I feel like right now the mentor is trying to distract me from creating or aligning into the life that I want to live, right? And the universe is saying, give me the book so I can finish the story. And I'm going, no. And I'm like walking the other way with the book, and obviously the universe is not going to chase me. So she's just like, okay, okay, I guess if you don't want the story to be finished, I guess just walk away. I don't know. That's kind of the image I'm seeing in my mind's eye right now. That's kind of how it feels. And so yeah, this is me learning to just hand the book over to source, to spirit, to the universe, and say, all right, you can write your chapters in now. That's how it feels. But yeah, I'm excited to see what she does. I'm not fully sure how I'm supposed to surrender. Obviously, I'm still learning that, but these last couple of days I have incorporated like EFT tapping into my day-to-day routine. I actually started that like yesterday or the day before, so it's not been long. I've obviously been doing my morning brain dumps. Yada yada. I do a little morning brain dump. What else have I been doing? I feel like those are the only two things I've really been doing. I've kind of been learning, or I've like been also putting on like 4 to 8 hertz frequency kind of music, and I've just been sitting there sometimes, like when I'm bored, I'll just sit there and just listen to that and just have like a 10-minute power nap or whatever. I didn't get the chance to do that today because I've been running around all day. I've been running around. I've been to the doctors. I've had to go to the doctors. I've had to go to appointments or like to pick up meds. I've had tests that I've had to do. I've been to the gym, so I've been kind of running around like a headless chicken today. But you know, these are all adult things that I promised myself that I was gonna start doing, like adult things, like an adult. Like I'm trying to be an adult now, like getting my adult things out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I recently had a situation that come up, and I wanted to pursue the situation, you know, like the situation at hand, and I was trying to disguise the situation as like an opportunity, but the opportunity came with a lot of discomfort, came with a lot of breaking my own boundaries, you know, boundaries that I had set, and I was thinking, well, I'll just break those for this person, just for the things that they're gonna offer me or give me, you know. But honestly, I knew not to do it, like, and I kept trying to narrate the story in a different way, and I'd be like, oh, but if I do like break these boundaries, like I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get that and I'm gonna get this, and like it's the life that I want to live, you know. But I thought, at what cost? At what cost am I going to be living the life that I want to live, you know? Because I knew from the outside, and people would, like you guys, my audience, or you know, on TikTok and stuff, people would be looking at me and going, oh, she's got a really good life, like she created a really good life for herself, she's doing really well for herself, you know. And like, yes, I want people to say that about me, but I also knew that like you guys would looking at me and think, oh, she's doing really well and created this really good life for herself, you know. But from my perspective, it'll be like actually a life of discomfort. It'll be a life where I knew like I lowered my standards to be able to have this life, or I broke my boundaries just to be able to live this life, you know. And then in what part of me doing all of that am I being authentic with you guys, you know? Just for the facade, just for the fact that I want you guys to think I'm living a really good life, you know. But I broke boundaries and lowered my standards to get there. Like it you know, or because I want to make it happen quicker than what I need it to happen. Like it wasn't quite making sense, you know. And after this midi tonight, like the queer that had did it, she finished me up, right? And I remember I sat up and I rubbed my eyes because it was so tight, and she said, how was that? And I said, oh, it was good. And she looked me dead in my eyes and she said, don't move in. Don't take that first apartment. Don't take that first flat that you're offered in Auckland City. Don't do it. It's not the right one for you. And I just went, fuck. And she went, there's a perfect one out there for you. But like you said, you need to stop rushing. And I just said, shit. You know, shit. That was it. After that, and that right there just took so much. It lifted a weight off me. It lifted one of the biggest weights off me, you know. It lifted a huge weight off me. And I said, kia ora. Have a good night. And yeah, and I came home and I reflected on my thoughts and my decisions, you know, and I realized, like, I can't do it. I can't do it because if I did do that, you know, one, I'm going to be falling back into this pattern of survival, and I'm not surviving. I'm not here to survive. This is my playground. I should be here having fun with it, shouldn't I? Not surviving, not trying to survive on my own playground. What the fuck? So I'm not falling into survival mode. Too, I want my brand to be built of authenticity. You know, I want to be open. I want to be honest with you guys. Like, I don't want you guys looking at my life and thinking, oh, she's did so well for herself, you know, but I can't even talk about how I'm doing well for myself, because at the end of the day, I'm breaking my own boundaries. I'm lowering my standards just so you guys can think I have it so well. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, I might have done that when I was younger, you know, when I didn't have too much of a clue as to who I was as a human being, or who I was, who Tiwai Maxwell is, who I am, you know. I might have did all of that. I did do all of that, for crying out loud, I did. But I'm not doing it this time. I'm not. I have grown to be wiser and more knowledgeable, you know, and these are all the tools in my toolkit, in my spiritual toolkit, you know. I know what I want. I know how to use my intuition. I know how to use my discernment these days, you know. And man, my intuition's been beating me up. She's been saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And I haven't did it, but it was still on the forefront of my mind, you know. I was going to sleep with this thought in my mind being like, oh, but like, if I do it, like, it's gonna actually open a lot of doors for me. But if I don't do it, and I just learn to surrender and give the book to the fucking universe so she can finish the fucking story for me, babes, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better. Because if my vision for if I'm this big, right? If I'm this big and my vision for me is this big, right? And the universe is this big, her vision for me has to be like this big. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so this is where I learned to surrender. This is where I learned to hand the freaking book over and let her finish her side of the story. And I've never surrendered before, but I'm learning. I don't know how to surrender, but I'm gonna learn. And that's why this chapter is now called The Art of Learning to Surrender. The Art of Surrendering. I don't know. We'll figure a name out as we go, you know. But that's currently where I'm at on my journey. And yeah. Alright. Ka kite.